Students, in this video lecture, I will explain you capacitance, redistribution of charge, energy stored upon a charge conductor, and capacitance. See, what is capacitance? When external charge is given to a conductor, then the potential of its surface rises, and we define the capacitance of conductor as the ratio of charge given to the potential developed. The capacitance of a conductor measures its ability to hold external charge over it. If 1 coulomb charge is required by a conductor to increase its potential by 1 volt, then we will say its capacitance is 1 farad. The unit of capacitance is coulomb upon volt. This is called farad. So the ratio of charge given to the potential developed is called capacitance. For calculating the capacitance of a conductor, we will assume some external charge Q is given to it and the potential of its surface will be calculated. And by the ratio Q upon V, we will get the capacitance of the conductor. For example, take a spherical conductor. Consider a spherical conductor of radius capital R. Suppose it is given external charge Q. Then the potential of its surface is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. Therefore, Q upon V is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R. Therefore, the capacitance of a spherical conductor is 4 pi epsilon naught capital R. The capacitance of a spherical conductor is directly proportional to its radius. In fact, the capacitance of a conductor is a property of its shape and size, and it is independent of its material. Let us see, if a conductor is given external charge, then the potential energy is stored upon it. How much potential energy is stored, we can calculate. Consider a conductor of capacitance C. Let it is given external charge Q, so that the potential of its surface becomes V. Therefore, we have V equal to Q upon C. Suppose the external agent gives dq more amount of charge to the conductor, then the work done by him in this process is given by dw is equal to v dq equal to q dq upon c. Therefore, total work done by the external agent in charging the conductor from q1 equal to 0 to q2 equal to q is given by 0 to q. After integration, we get 1 upon c q square upon 2. Thus, the work done by external agent in charging the conductor is q square upon 2c. The work done by external agent in charging the conductor is stored upon the conductor in the form of potential energy. So, the energy stored upon the conductor is given by U is equal to q square upon 2c. Since q is equal to cv, therefore, other form of this formula becomes half cv square. Since v equal to c is equal to q upon v, so another form of the formula is half q v. So the formula for energy stored upon the conductor has 3 forms. U is equal to q square upon 2c, U is equal to half cv square, and U equal to half qv. Let us see redistribution of charge. What is the meaning of redistribution charge? Consider two conductors having different potentials. If contact is made between them, then the positive charge is transferred from the conductor at higher potential to the conductor at lower potential. This is called redistribution of charge. The redistribution of charge stops when both the conductors acquire the common potential, that is same potential. Suppose this is a conductor, this is another conductor. Charge upon this is Q1, charge upon this is Q2, and their capacitances are C1 and C2 respectively, and their potentials are V1 and V2. Suppose V1 is greater than V2, then if contact is made between them, then the positive charge will be transferred from this conductor to this conductor, and the redistribution of charge will stop when both the conductors will acquire the same potential, Vc. The charges remaining upon the conductors after the redistribution of charge are Q1 dash and Q2 dash. So we should get the expression for common potential. The common potential is given by total charge upon total capacitance. The charge upon first conductor is Q1 and the charge upon second is Q2 and their capacitances are. But Q1 is equal to C1 V1 and Q2 equal to C2 V2 upon C1 plus C2. So this is common potential of both the conductors after the redistribution of charge. This is property of a conductor that when two conductors having different potentials are brought in contact, then they equalize their potential by redistributing the charges over them. The charges remaining upon the conductor after the redistribution will be in the ratio of their capacitances. Let us see Q1 dash upon Q2 dash. Q1 dash is C1 into Vc and Q2 dash is C2 into Vc. So this is C1 upon C2. This means after redistribution, the conductor having larger capacitance will hold more charge and the conductor having smaller capacitance will hold less charge. In this process of redistribution of charge, there will be loss of potential energy also. The loss in potential energy can be calculated by getting U2 minus U1, that is the total energy stored upon both the conductors after distribution minus the total energy stored upon both the conductors before redistribution of charge. This comes out to be half C1 into C2 upon C1 plus C2 into V1 minus V2 whole square. Now we will see capacitor. A capacitor is a system of two conductors insulated from each other. This is an arrangement for storing electric potential energy in the form of electric field. If we have a conductor and given external charge to it, then it will have certain potential. If we place an electrically neutral and insulated conductor near it, then induction will take place. By placing this conductor, here negative charge is appearing, which will produce negative potential here. It means by placing this insulated and neutral conductor, the potential of the charged conductor decreases. If we ground it, then the positive charge on this side will be neutralized to the earth, but this negative sign will be retained, and this will keep on producing negative potential, due to which the potential of charged conductor decreases. This is the principle of conductor, and now you can understand why two conductors are used for making a capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor. A parallel plate capacitor has two metallic plates of equal surface area and separated by a distance. This can also be shown as, if one plate of the capacitor is given charge Q positive, then due to induction minus Q charge appears on its opposite plate. There is electric field between the plates of the capacitor. This is a plane sheet of charge, this is another plane sheet of charge, and both the plane sheets of charge are producing electric fields in the same direction. Therefore, electric field between the plates of the capacitor is sigma upon epsilon naught. Since V equal to E into D, where D is separation between the plates of the capacitor, therefore V equal to sigma upon epsilon naught into D, which is equal to Q into D epsilon naught into A. Therefore, capacitance of parallel plate capacitor C is equal to Q upon V equal to epsilon naught A upon D. So the capacitance of parallel plate capacitor is parallel to the area of its plates and it is inversely proportional to the distance between them. If the space between the plates of the capacitor is filled by a dielectric constant, then the capacitance of the capacitor is multiplied by the dielectric constant of the dielectric. Suppose a parallel plate capacitor having plate area A and plate separation small d. One plate is given charge plus Q and due to induction minus Q charge appears on the other plate. If a dielectric slab of thickness T, which is less than D, is placed between the plates of the capacitor, then outside the dielectric, the electric field is sigma upon epsilon naught, and inside the dielectric, the electric field is sigma upon K epsilon naught, because the dielectric gets polarized and it produces electric field in the opposite direction of the external field. So the electric field in the interior of dielectric becomes less than that in its exterior. Now, for writing the potential difference between the plates of the capacitor, we will multiply respective electric fields with the length in which they are present. Sigma upon epsilon naught is present in the thickness D minus T, whereas electric field sigma upon K epsilon naught present in the thickness T, or Q upon A epsilon naught becomes common and we are left with D minus T plus T upon K. Again, the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor partially filled with dielectric is given by C is equal to Q upon V, which is epsilon naught A upon D minus T plus T upon K. If T equal to D, then C equal to Kc naught. If instead of dielectric we insert a conducting material, then as the dielectric constant for a conductor is infinite, then also the capacitance becomes C dash equal to epsilon naught A upon D minus T.